Hello, my stamping friends. It's Margaret here with Margaret Stamping Studio, and I've got my Sale-a-bration Last Chance Class in a Flash. So I can't believe Sale-a-bration is almost over. If you don't know what Sale-a-bration is, it's Stampin' Up's biggest sale of the year. Every year, it usually lasts 2 months. Sometimes they switch it up on us. Stampin' Up! Offers a selection of products that you can earn for free with a $50 purchase, and it's in increments of 50. So there's even a few items that you can only get with a $100 purchase, and they are fabulous. But anyway, I am just focusing on just a few of the things that are available for free in the class. And of course, you can purchase whatever you want. You can make your own selections. And it ends Thursday, February 29th at midnight Mountain Time. So actually, that's about 2 o'clock Eastern Time. So, so you do have a little bit of time to quick get your last minute orders in. But when you place a $35 order with me using the host code, I'll send you a card kit to create these cards that we're making today. So that's a special gift. So it's a double bonus. You get the class, and if you spend $50, then you also get one of the products from Stampin' Up. And I just wanted to quick mention this awesome glass mat. When you decide to join Stampin' Up and become a demonstrator, you will actually get to choose this for free. It's 14 by 17 glass mat. You can it's heat resistant, so you can use it with your heat embossing. You can use it for watercoloring, all sorts of messy mixed media projects. You just wipe it with this wonderful, very thin, so I'm just going to call it squeegee. It's a fun little foam type cleaner. You just use water with it, and it just wipes up really quick. And there's also this silicone mat, which is designed for using it with mixed media. These actually hold our little Stampin' Spots, which is incredible. It sticks to the mat. You can pick up the mat, and it's not going to go anywhere. And it's just wonderful. I love this so much more than paper, because I usually use scrap paper under my projects, but not anymore. Now I use this. So the first card we're going to do, and the kit, excuse my arm, I forgot to raise my table up. I prefer standing up when I stamp. There it is. Here, I'm just raising it. There, that's better for me. Okay, so the botanical layers, this was added into the selections just the beginning of February, and it is an annual catalog item. But I love this botanical layers. It's got great verses, and of course, the fun frill. It can even, to me, this even kind of looks like some underwater grasses and such. So it can be used for a lot of things. But this is the card we're going to do today. And I'm using Parakeet Party and Orchid Oasis, and these two are in colors, and those are going to be retiring the end of April. So, oh, they're beautiful. If you don't have those, you might want to think about ordering those. I know as it gets closer to their retirement time, there's a good chance they'll sell out, so I would get them now before the rush is on. Alright, so let's get stamping. Let's do some stamping shenanigans. Get my card base out of the way. Alright, so for this card, I'm just stamping the more leafy of these 2 images that I've chosen. And I'm going to stamp one full strength. And then I'm going to just kind of angle it. I'm going to keep the bases kind of close together, so it kind of looks like it's one plant. And excuse me, just stamping it again. There, so you can just barely see that second stamped image. It just gives it a nice shadow back there. Let me close this, because I am known for getting my ink all over me if I don't close them up. And then this is, I like to call this the seaweed stamp. I'm inking this in the Orchid Oasis, which is a beautiful periwinkle. I love this color. I think this one's probably my favorite color out of the grouping that's getting ready to retire. So while we have that open, isn't that just so pretty? And this is one of the colors, but there's several colors that are darker when you initially stamp them. And as it dries, it kind of mellows and kind of melds into its true color. A lot of the reds will do that too. And I'm just stamping the Thinking of You, and that is the verse that comes in the stamp set. Oh, I did not need to close up my green yet. I forgot. Put my stuff out of the way. What was I thinking? Alright, here's the card base. I don't know if you noticed, but I actually did stamp a little bit there on the background to give that a little more dimension and texture back there. So we'll ink this back up again, and I'm stamping it off the top left corner of the card just to fill that in with some greenery. And we'll do that the same thing here on the bottom right. Okay, got a little, ooh, that is noisy. I haven't gotten used to putting my stamps down gently yet. All right. I don't want to get the green ink on the back of my card. Okay, so let's adhere these together. Just a little bit of Stampin' Seal on the back. Laying this on a piece of Orchid Oasis. And I'll go ahead and attach my greeting. The scallop circle actually is from our retired circles dies, but they layer beautifully with our Stitch Shapes dies, so I still use those. They're wonderful. And let's see, I've got scissors there for my dimensionals. Here we go. Okay, I've got some of the In Color Baker's twine, which is the Parakeet Party, and I'm just going to tie a little bow. And this bow is going to go to the right side of the card. Give it a little trim. Throw some dimensionals on the back. This is a great quick and easy card. And you could really do this easily and switch up the colors. Do maybe in different shades of green. My only recommendation is to make sure that that the seaweed stamp is your darkest color. I found that looks better, at least to me. So I guess if you like it with a lighter color on top, hey, go for it. All right, dimensionals on the back of my greeting. And we'll just kind of put this next to the bow and to kind of overlapping our greenery there. And then let's throw a couple of rhinestones. The basic rhinestones are my favorite. And I always have multiple packages going. I can't seem to use up just one pack. I always seem to open another one before I'm finished. Whoop. It's a runner. I was trying to be all nice with my scissor tips and it just wasn't working. So there we go. We got it. Okay, so there is our Botanical Layers card. this closed up. And that's just so cute. Love that. All right. Put those out of the way. I'll clean those afterwards. And our next card, oh, I just love this one. I'm using the paintbrushes out of the Trusty Tools. This is in the January to April mini catalog. And it does have some die cuts that it's bundled with. You can get just the stamp or the die cuts. And then the greeting I'm using is actually from By My Side. I just love this, and the greetings are actually my favorite. So that's where the thinking of you today came from. All right, and in Sale-a-bration, they've added these cards and envelopes. Isn't the inside of this envelope so pretty? And that's actually where I got my inspiration for this. So it's a Memories and More card pack, note card and envelope pack. So in your kit, you'll make one coral and one of the pretty peacock cards. And now another thing to note, I'm going to get something wet. When you get your kit in the mail, it does not include stamped images. That's against company policy. So what you'll have is you'll have the white piece, you'll have your stamp or punched flowers, and then you can use whatever stamps that you have if you don't have the paintbrush. I mean, you can do so many things with these pieces and just get creative. All right, so let's see. Let me go ahead and I'm just using some scraps to punch the flowers, and I need 2 each for each color. And I'm using Crushed Curry, Calypso Coral, and Pretty Peacock. I should have had these pre-punched, sorry. You have to listen to that clunk clunk. And watch them fly. There we go. Alright, that noisy bit's done. Now this is the fun part. So the I can't wait to show you how I made the paint streaks. So this, I want to make sure that I am stamping it the correct way. And what I did is I started with the center paintbrush, and I'm stamping it about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom. Stamping that one first, and here I did them rather close together, so I think this time around I'm going to actually stamp them a little bit further apart, since I have room to do it. Okay. And what's neat about this stamp set, they actually have color fill images for the paintbrush and for the paint at the top. And I decided to leave my paintbrush bristles white. I thought that would be just fine. Alright, so this I'm using Crumb Cake. Just lining that up. And I am getting a little white spots, but I don't mind. Actually, if you look at artwork out and about in different prints, there are some intentional white spots, and that just kind of gives it some highlights. And so I don't worry if it's not perfect. I figure, hey, it's even more artistic than normal. So anyway, what I did to make the paint swipes is I just used our Stampin' Spots. You can get some empty spots you can order online. It's a set of 5. Or there actually is a set of, I can't remember how many. I don't have that near me. But there is a set of the most popular colors that you can buy as a set where they're already inked. And the way you ink the blanks are just with our regular ink pad refills. So what I did, since it's the perfect size, I just started at the brush and swiped. And I'm going to do that again with the Calypso. And with, I know this says Island Indigo, but it really is Pretty Peacock. It was all empty and dry, so I just refreshed it with my Peacock and thought it was good to go. Okay, and here is the paint for on the paint bristles. And with this, I'm going to go with the yellow first. I'm going to have to clean it between, and if I don't do a good job cleaning, I figure if I do the yellow first and then the coral, it won't be so bad. There's that. So cute. Love this. Now here I did my greeting in the Pretty Peacock, and I'm not sure I like that. So I'm going to do, this time I'm going to do it in the Tuxedo Black. I think I might be happier with that. And I'm one of those weird people that like their greetings in like a really dark gray, black, really dark navy. The next card is, oops, wrong stamp. I did in a Pebble Path. So I'm trying to branch out and do my greetings in colors, but sometimes it's hard for me. There, not too bad. A little, I think I jerked it a little bit, but I can fix that later. It'll be fine for now. Okay, so we're going to get our adhesive back out here. Oh, and I don't think I showed you. These cards are printed on both sides and right on the inside. Let's see, we're going to leave about a quarter of an inch. No, that's about 1/8 of an inch of cardstock on either side. And then we're going to layer this about 1 inch from the top, and it's about 1.5 inches from the bottom. Oh, I did not lay that on there straight. That's one of the things I love about the Stampin' Seal. It's a little bit forgiving. You have a few moments where it's easy to pick it back up and then put it back down. Alright, we'll adhere our little banner. And I like to do that right along the bottom of the too far right. The brushes over there. And now I just like to use glue dots for my flowers. So I'll put one flower down flat, and then the other flower I kind of bend and crinkle and just bend those petals up. I know they're going to get flattened in the mail, so I'm not worried about making sure they're all pretty and not crinkly. I don't mind the crinkles. If they've got crinkles and wrinkles, that's just fine by me. Do the same with the crushed curry and the Calypso coral. From there on the left side. Over paintbrushes. And I am missing one of my coral flowers. I make such a mess when I'm stamping. Do you do that too? I'm always all over the place. One of these days, maybe I'll get myself together, but not looking too promising at the moment. All right, there's that, and I guess I'll just go ahead and punch another one. I'm sure I'll find it on the floor later. Or you could be there in the video, hey, it's right over there. And I still don't see it. Okay. Alright, so there's that. And now we just finish it off with that punch is so amazing. I'm using the large rhinestones on this. Normally I have the take your pick tool, which works beautifully for these, but I'm not sure what I did with it. Sometimes my husband takes it. He likes to build model airplanes, and so he'll use that for working with his little pieces. I really should just order him his own. That would be nice of me. One of these days, I'll get him one. Alright, so here is our second card, or cards. So you'll get the supplies to make both of these. And then our final card is so pretty. This, oh look, there it is. I know I'd find it. This features the designer paper stippled flowers, I think it's called. Let me see here. I don't have my book. Here we go. It is called Softly Stippled. And it has a lot of these textures, and then of course the flower floral patterns. And I used all 6 different sheets in creating these cards. And of course, they're double-sided and they're beautiful. It is just gorgeous paper. And so when you get this kit, you can play around. Just look at that. I mean, you could just cut those out and color them with a Stampin' Blends or a little bit of watercoloring, and just too pretty. So anyway, when you get this, you can play around with your different patterns. And this is the one where I used the Pebbled Path, which I believe is the color that's of gray that they used in this. Let's see what colors are in here. Calypso Coral, Lost Lagoon, Pebbled Path, Pool Party, and Wild Wheat. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and I am going to create the Lost Lagoon one. I think I had supplies cut for both. I couldn't decide which one I wanted to do for the video. So we're going to do that. I was playing around a lot. I was having a really good time with this technique. It's called fractured panels, I believe. And it's very popular right now. And I probably really messed up the name. But it's beautiful and it's surprisingly easy once you know how to do it. It took me a bit to figure it out, but I did it. And I'm happy. So I'm just going to stick those up there. So what you start off with is, you know, one panel of your designer paper. And when you get your kit, when you place an order and get the kit for free, I will send you a tutorial sheet which has all your dimensions and everything on it. So you're going to do that. And then you'll have a square die cut. And you're going to put this here in your card. And you're going to kind of center it as best you can. You can eyeball it. What I like to do, though, is I like to bring my paper trimmer in. And see the track for your cutting blade I put this in at 2 inches because that's a halfway mark. I put some adhesive on the back of my square. And I slip it under the track. And I don't know if you can see there, but I put the point of both ends of the diamond in the track that the cutter runs through. So that way I know it's pretty much straight. And it's a lot closer than what I could do by eyeballing it. So that's my little trick for that. And you can rewind that as much as you need to. And quick get adhesive on that corner. There we go. All right. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take 2 of your paper strips here. Put adhesive on the back side. And I'm going to put it right here along the upper portion. Line it up along the square. From the edge of the square, line it up there on the edge, and you're going to run it along that and up off the edge of your paper. And then your second, you're going to do the same on the opposite end on the bottom. So you're going to layer it like this. Like so. Okay. Next we're going to take our scrap paper and we're going to butt that in there. Oh, whoops. I take that back. I made a mistake. Alright, it's been on there a little bit. Let's see if I can get it without ripping. If you ever glue something down and it's starting to rip, what you can use is your dental floss. And you want to use the cheap dental floss because the Easy Glide stuff actually does not work. And you can put a piece of dental floss between your papers and it'll help release it. It must be with my, I take your tool. Take your tool pick. Must be with that. Oh well. I'm getting it. It'll be alright. I promise. There we go. Alright, another good thing about working on glass, I'll be able to kind of work on this and it won't, I'll be able to lift it up. Or I should be able to. Alright, and actually I want to put my adhesive here on my background. I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to butt it up there to that. Didn't run my adhesive long enough on my strip. There we go. Okay. Shoosh. We're going to butt that up along the strip and along our square there. And then we're going to take our second piece and we'll put our adhesive on this background designer paper. And I'm making sure to get the corners. Oops, I want this side showing. And I love the textile look of this paper. And we're going to lay that down like so. Alright, now we'll take our remaining 2 strips, put adhesive across those, and we're going to overlap the designer paper. So we'll butt it up with that, lay it across. Now when I saw this, I thought this type of card, the fractured panel, was going to be all sorts of little tiny pieces and angles and all sorts of nonsense I was going to have to try to cut out, and it's not, which is lovely because that's a lot of hard work. Alright, so let me get this lifted off my table and we're going to trim away the excess. So you want to flip this over and just trim off your extra. Once you get one one side cut flush. You can actually take this to your paper turn, but since I have adhesive all over the back, I'm going to have to do it all by hand. But it's no big deal, really. I just prefer using my paper turner. Especially on the long cuts. You can tell I'm out of practice of long cuts. There we go. Got it. All right, get these pieces out of our way. But see, wasn't that awesome? I could work that right on the mat. And now we'll attach this here back to our base. So don't do my mistake. You want to build it on the designer paper first and then trim it and attach it. All right, there we go. All right, and now we can put adhesive on the back of this. Put it on our card base, and the card bases are thick, basic white. It definitely has the strength to uphold to many layers of your cards. Because I know I like the white bases, and I love our regular basic white for stamping and die cutting. But yeah, sometimes it's just doesn't have the oomph to be a card base. So we'll do that there. I'm going to go ahead and stamp the thank you again. I kind of wanted to show you what it would look like with different verses and how, you know, this is a smaller verse compared to one that pretty much fills the square. Actually, diamond in this case. So this one, I hit it over a little too far, I think. I mean, it looks lovely. It looks fine. But this one, I'm going to stamp it a little more towards the center. Not in the center, but more towards the center. There we go. And then you can either use liquid glue or just adhesive, which I'll do. Just put little dots of adhesive along this. The tricky part of doing the little dots of adhesive is sometimes you can bend your die cut. All right, and we'll put this. Actually, I think I'm going to line it up there with the bottom. Here we go. There. And so that is our card. I see I got a little dot there. I know how to fix that. Do you ever make little smudges by mistake? I'm sure you do. We all do it. What I like to do is use that as a chance to embellish. So I'll put one down here, one there, and I'll go ahead and put one, I think, up right over there. Actually, this one I think calls for 5. Sometimes you need 5. Always, odd number always looks best. So go ahead there, and I'll put another one down here. There. So, use your mistakes as a reasons to embellish. That's what I take from that one. So anyway, so here are our fabulous cards for my last chance class in a flash. Be sure to order by midnight on Thursday, February 29th. That's the last chance to get Sale-a-bration items. And you want to use host code. Let's push this down. 9A4W77MH. And I'll send out your kits on Monday, which I believe is the 4th. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you've got some great creative ideas from this. All right, have a wonderful day. Bye.